Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Katie, I'm an Introverted Reader, and I'm here to bring you my TBR for the month of May. Can you believe it? It is the last week in April. What is time? So I've got a I've got a decent pile of books sitting here, which I will chat to you about now. But first and foremost, we must hydrate. I have some Coke here. I've got my water bottle there as well for when I'm done. But whatever it is, whatever drink of choice that you have, be sure to hydrate. So, let's hydrate and talk about the books that we're going to be reading in the month of May. So, on top here, I have these two. So, on my Kindle, I have a book called A Taste of Golden Iron, I think it's called. And all I know about it is that it's a fantasy romance and that it's gay. It's about this prince and his bodyguard. And that's all I know about it. I'm only like 10% of the way through. I don't really have any thoughts on it at the minute. But that's what I've currently got going on my Kindle. And the book I'm listening to audibly is Blood Air by Amelia Wen Xiao. And when I tell you I'm loving this, I'm loving this. But yeah, those are the two that I'm making my way through at the minute. Blood Air, I am 190 pages into it and loving the audiobook. The narrator is the same one that narrated the Poppy War, because I listened to those audibly. Now, another book that I have is this American Roommate Experiment. Honestly, guys, I don't know if I want to read this. I don't know why I'm showing it to you, because I don't know if I even want to read it anymore. It may go in the on-haul pile, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and read a couple chapters, and if I really don't like it, it's going. So this is just like loosely on the TBR, because I have not heard good things. But I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to read a couple chapters, maybe like the first 3 chapters, and we'll see. But if I come to you again in my wrap up next week and say that I threw this in the garbage, then well, it is what it is. But I have it anyway, and I feel bad because it's still brand new, and I should at least give it a shot, shouldn't I? Because I might feel different. So anyway, let's talk about the rest of the book, shall we? Now, obviously, I'm going to be reading a Percy Jackson book because I am reading this for the Olympian Along, hosted by Pris over at Pris Peruses. This is the last book in the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. And then next month, in June, we're going to be moving on to Heroes of Olympus. And I'm so excited, but I'm super excited to read this. I love this series. It has a very special place in my heart. And yeah, I'm super excited to finish off this series, and then we can kick off Heroes of Olympus, because Heroes of Olympus is amazing. So there's that. I've got the audiobook for this, by the way. I had the audiobook for the last one, so I think that's how I'm gonna be reading Percy from now on. But the book club pick for the Introverted Reader book club is Better Together by Christine Riccio. Now, the poll did end in a tie, but this was in the lead for a good few days before everything kind of rounded up in a tie. So I figured it was only fair to let this one have it. So, Better Together by Christine Riccio. All I know about this is that it's about 2 sisters who are estranged from each other after their parents divorced. One lives in LA, the other one lives in New Jersey. So literally opposite ends of the country. And that's all I know. And they somehow meet and they decide to like switcheroo their lives. So it says at the top, Freaky Friday meets The Parent Trap in this sparkling, heartfelt story about sisters who find each other and themselves. I love Freaky Friday. I love The Parent Trap. So I'm here for it. So I'm going to be reading and reviewing this in the month of May. Obviously, I read Again But Better by Christine Riccio, and I had low expectations. I did, but I ended up really, really loving it. So I'm hoping that I'll like this one as well. This one looks really good. I love the cover. See, there's one sister and then the other sister's on the back. So it's like a reverse situation. So love that. So if you want to read that along with me in the month of May, you're more than welcome. So the last few, Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim. This was on the poll as well for the book club pick, but I was just like, I want to read it anyway. So, and it's a lovely floppy paperback. Look at the gorgeousness of this cover. Like, look, are you kidding? Look at the gorgeousness. And all I know about this is that it's about this girl who wants to be the official tailor for the emperor, for the ruler of her country, but only men are allowed to go for the job. So she disguises herself and goes in her father's place to compete for this very coveted position. And that is all I know. And I'm assuming there's going to be magic and all sorts along the way. So yeah, I've read Six Crimson Cranes by Elizabeth Lim, and it was a whole lot of fun. Like, I remember saying if you're a fan of Studio Ghibli films, you would enjoy Six Crimson Cranes, and I have a feeling this might give off the same vibe. Maybe. I don't know. I've only ever watched one Studio Ghibli movie, but I do plan to change that soon. Anyway, the next two. So May is a very special month. And that is because it's Star Wars month. Okay, May the 4th is coming, and this right here is an anthology. It's 40 stories celebrating 40 years of Star Wars from a certain point of view. So yeah, so you're probably thinking, girl, are you saying you're gonna have that entire book read? No, I'm not. What the plan is that if I'm like in between books, and I don't really know what to read next, I can just pick this up and read a wee short story. Now, whether or not any of these stories are actually tied into the timeline for Star Wars, I don't know. Maybe they just gathered a bunch of authors together who love the world and the characters and said, here, do you want to write a fun wee fan fiction story about Star Wars and we'll include it in this anthology? Or you can include it in the timeline if you want. I don't know how they worked it. Either way, I'm excited to read it. There's a whole bunch of like really well-known authors in here. Claudia Gray, E.K. Johnson. I know Pierce Brown is in here. Renee Ahdieh. Sabaa Tahir is in here as well. Will Wheaton, Wesley Crusher himself, wrote a story in here, which is hilarious. We've got Meg Gabbitt. We've got Ray Carson. Who else? Jason Fry. I said Claudia Gray, didn't I? Ken Liu. Let me see. I don't really recognize a whole bunch of these. Let me see. Jeffrey Brown, Pierce Brown, Ray Carson, Adam Christopher. I don't really know very many, but I recognize a good few. So I'm just going to pick it up every now and then and read a wee story and get my life, because I do want to get into the Star Wars lore a little bit more. Like, I love all of the movies and I love The Mandalorian and, you know, everything else, but I want to delve in a little bit deeper. So, and hopefully the Force will be with me. Anyway, the last book I want to talk about is The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chokshi. Now, I've already read this. I read this a couple of years ago, but the third book has recently come out. And I haven't read the third book yet. And I have I don't remember very much about what happens in the previous two. And I don't want to be diving into book 3, you know, not remembering. So I'm going to reread this. It's going to be tabbed. It's going to be annotated to filth. Like, whenever I show you guys this at the end of the month, there's going to be tabs galore happening here. It's going to be a great time. It's set in the 18th century, and it's a heist story. Basically, it's about all these different individuals, and one of them is a nobleman, or at least he used to be, and he's like, if I remember rightly, he's trying to like get his house back, because his house is kind of fallen into ruin, and he gets basically presented an opportunity to do so, and he's just like, well, let me at it then. So those are all of the books, hopefully, that I plan to get to in the month of May. Excuse me, whilst I get myself sorted. So this is quite a lot. But again, see this. I might very well not. But it's there anyway. And sure, if at the end of the month I don't read it, you can call me a big fat liar. I don't care. So let me just show you all of these. Here they all are. This is the plan, okay? Whether I'm not putting any pressure on myself. Obviously, the priorities are what I've currently got going on, and obviously the book club picks, you know, Percy, and obviously my own book club pick, but you know, quality over quantity. Do you know what I mean? So I'm hoping I can shake a 5-star out of somewhere. I have a feeling Blood Air could very well be a 5-star, but again, if I come back to you at the end of the month and tell you that was a lie, well, I guess the force just wasn't with me. Anyway, I hope you are all doing well. Hope you're all taking care of yourselves. I want to point out, I'm selling a couple books. I'm selling my Waterstones editions of Atlas 6 and Atlas Paradox. I'm selling my Fairyloot edition of the Atlas 6 and my Fairyloot edition of Book of Night. You're balanced on them right now, so I can't really lift them up. But I'll post pictures and I'll put them on my Twitter and I'll like pin it to the top of my profile. UK and Ireland only, if you don't mind, and bear with me when it comes to me shipping it out to you. But I thought I would mention it anyway in case anybody wants them. But anyway, all my socials, like I said, down below as always. Subscribe if you're new. I have 260 subscribers as of today. If I could get to 300, that would be wonderful. So if you are new and you haven't subscribed, please do so. I make videos every Tuesday and every other Saturday. And yeah, I'll see you next week for the wrap up for April. It'll be an interesting one. Bye.